system is him.
Yes.
You know, darkness is trying to play its hand of like impressing people that it is greater than light and what. But this revelation, including when you see an apparent victory of darkness over light, he says actually
It is light.
it is light
that has prevailed.
Yes.
The guy I'm praying for not to go, I may go before him. So I was there, and somehow this fear grips me, and the Spirit of God took time to get to me. Because I was so tormented by fear, everywhere I would go to the bedroom. I'm like, okay, something is happening to me. I don't understand. I'm about to collapse. I feel things are changing all around me. Sometimes I see blue, sometimes I'm seeing nothing completely, and I'm still standing. I'm like, hey, something is happening. So I was scared. Then the Spirit of God, you know, it took about 2-3 hours. Then the Spirit of God whispers, gentle whisper. He speaks to me and he says, why are you afraid? Why are you afraid? And at that moment, I knew actually something else was trying to influence what I was thinking and my expectation. He says, don't you know it's more gain to be with me? That's when I said, oh, actually. And then he reminded me of times I've prayed to him before I slept. You know, God, you know how we've been taught to induce dreams and visions, and like tonight I'm having an encounter. You know, in the throne room with God, I'm having that encounter. And now he's saying, why are you scared of that? You know, many times a believer hears death, and immediately the spirit of fear grips them. But remember, the scripture says that the Lord has delivered us from the spirit of fear. So it's the spirit of fear that comes and begins to whisper to you things that causes you to think, oh my God, you're going to die. Now suddenly a God whom you've been praising, a God whom you've been calling upon to come and manifest in your life, you're scared of meeting him. You're like, oh my God, where I'm going. And it becomes something that you're so afraid of. Now, these people, okay, I've had an opportunity to meet some people before they crossed over, before they slept. And some of them that I've met have actually, one of the people I met, their last word was...
Before or after?
Before.
Okay.
They're like, I feel like I'm ready to go. Now, my father, before he passed on, he said, I think I am ready to sleep. I have been tormented by very many things, but now I feel like I am ready to sleep. I feel like I'm ready to go. Now, I had nothing to do. So, that reminded me of something that you've shared with me before, that you see, when people begin to see into the yonder place, something captivates them. And they're like, Paul, for me to live is Christ, to die is gain. For me to go is
it was a struggle for him.
Yeah.
He said, I'm in a strait. You say, I'm in a battle, I don't know whether to stay or to go.
Because to go is glory.
Is better. To stay is just for your benefit.
Yes.
Then, okay, for your benefit, okay.
Now, when a believer gets to that point where they understand that, you see, death has been abolished.
Amen.
They do not die. It's not that, you know, you're going to wake up and those things you've seen in those movies, I don't know if they're movies, those people who have had visions of heaven and hell, and you know, they show some guy going in like a spiral, like a tube.
Even before that, even the manner of death. You see, movies have what? Like really, like animated how death is, you know, like, especially with guns. And they show you a guy just dancing like this, like when they were firing him. You know, and you're like, man, death. Guy died hard. Oh, like they show you a guy, you know, like the circuses of Rome. And the believers being through them, the lion is chasing them, and the guy is running, screaming. Let me tell you, if we can establish a certain
hallelujah.
pattern,
Glory to God.
there, you know, and there are so many examples. Let's start with our own matters here, the Ugandan matters. They died singing.
Yes.
I think that was even before, I would imagine that was before they had written the Bible in Luganda. I'm not sure.
Way before.
I'm not sure how many of them knew English or the only instruction they had was by word of mouth.
Yes.
From the people who were telling them about the Lord Jesus. But such an intimacy, they would not deny him.
Hallelujah.
Now, you see, you must understand, this is more than just biting your so what or what. No.
These Islamic
Yes.
extremists that say, I'm going to kill you.
It's not that.
It's not that.
It's he works in you to will
Hallelujah.
and to do according to his what? Good pleasure.
He talks about it in 1 Corinthians chapter number 13. He says, though I give my body to be burnt. Actually, there are people who give their bodies to be burnt, but it's not motivated by love. It's more of a show off. He says, though you give your body, I can do it.
Yes, well, let's
Zikambalagi.
You burn me. Burn me and you
Burn
see
me
if I
and
will
see.
cry. I won't even cry.
Like
I won't
the
give you
monks.
the pleasure. Yeah.
They can do it. But he says, if it's not motivated by love, if it's not motivated by a revelation of what he has done for you, of who he is to you, then it's nothing. So the key thing there is, again, it's revelation.
Yes.
It's you knowing him. It's that intimacy that has gotten these people to a place where they're like, I do not count my life dear unto me. That's Paul in Acts of the Apostles, chapter 20, verse 24.
Yes.
That I do not count my life dear to me. In other words, he has gotten to a place where he values what has been committed to him, that you can't threaten him with stoning. You can't threaten him with, stripes. You can't threaten him with anything. He values the ministry of grace that has been committed to him. So that's where most of these people are. In the church of Smyrna, these guys, they are persecuted. They are killed.
Yeah.
Actually, that word comes from the word myra, which means a plant that produces a sweet fragrance after it has been crushed. They are persecuted hard. And yet, the sweet fervor of his knowledge spreads even through their death.
Glory to God. Glory to God.
Very beautiful, as in they did not deny him. They did not denounce him. They held on to their faith. And do you know that many people actually came to know the Lord because of these people's faith?
Absolutely.
People that were willing to die for what they believed. As in, that was evangelism. They didn't have to stand and preach the gospel.
That was enough.
That was enough. Someone watches a believer give their life. As in, they are not careful. They are looking at this king who has authority to deliver them, who has authority to set them free, and he says no.
One of those Caesars, I forget who, the mad one, his name will come. But, when he was angry, Caligula, when he was angry with the Christians, he used them as, like lampposts in the streets. He would put the Christians up and light, put oil or whatever, and kindle them at night so that they would have light. All of them had the singular testimony that they died singing. And it just drove him mad.
Yes.
He says, why are they singing? Why?
Why aren't they
Why aren't they
screaming?
screaming?
There's a reality that they have embraced. There's something they have seen that cannot, it cannot compare to the pain, the persecution they are going through. Hallelujah. Glory to God.
A friend of mine was being tortured,
Mm.
and he says he has a powerful testimony. By when he was there, man, what? And he was shocked. He was like, I don't seem to be feeling it. Nothing. Nothing. Now, let me tell you that there are things that we have not yet embraced about this life.
Yes.
And by the way, I'm not talking about just physical torture. I'm saying the torture some of you feel because you don't have enough money. Because you don't feel like you have the resources. How will my children study at university? How will things be? You can literally be I like that word.
Yes.
Insulated. completely. Where this world, its system, the things that affect it, they cannot
touch you.
They can't touch you. They can't even, sometimes actually you'll be called like, you don't feel.
You don't have feelings.
You don't have feelings. You don't relate to people. What.
You're callous.
You're callous. But
you're seared like hot ice.
But you see, Jesus, sometimes I also read some of those stories. I'm like, you remember like that one where they had the mega storm and they were freaking out
and he's
sleeping. When he wakes up, after he rebukes the storm, he rebukes them.
Oh, you little faith.
What's wrong? And you're like, but Jesus, now be fair, man. It's about, we were actually, if you had not done something, we were going to die. If you are not in this boat, we were going to die. Why now are you disturbed? But you see, there is a place in him where you are translated from this realm. And the experiences of those who are held by this realm. That you cannot relate to the things of anxious, but worried for what? For what? Does it? Sometimes you wonder, how could you be inspired to say, will worrying add to your height? And you're like, what does height have to do with it? But for him, it's like it does not make sense. Why are you worried? Why?
That's someone who is
convinced. Will it extend your life?
That's someone who is convinced of the Father's love.
Yes.
That's someone who is convinced of how God has their back.
Yes.
That he will not let any evil come near them.
Yes.
He would say, why are you worried?
Why?
Why are you anxious about this? Don't you know if your Father can dress the lilies, those wildflowers, which no man has even opportunity to look at, but he dresses them. If he feeds the birds, which neither sow nor store in barns, but he feeds them, how much more you, his creation? How much more you, the one that is born again? So when you become convinced of the Father's love, when you have that revelation that we're talking about, it will insulate you. It will cause you to live in a bubble. What most people say.
It will give you revelation.
Yes.
David said this in one of the Psalms, that the Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my whatever. Of whom shall I be afraid?
Very, very important.
Revelation.
When people walk in darkness, they are afraid.
Yes.
They are anxious. Because they
including those who have security.
Even those who have, including those that
why especially?
Especially, actually. It shows a sign of fear. Like because you're so insecure. A person who knows that the Lord is their light, the Lord is their salvation, they will walk even if it's dark. He says in the book of Psalms somewhere that darkness shall be light unto you.
Yes. That's a prophetic word right there.
Darkness shall be light unto you.
Amen.
You will not be afraid of darkness. Amen. Because even in the dark, the Lord shall be your light.
Amen.
He shall be your salvation. He is your salvation. In other words, you will not fear. There's nothing to fear. When the world is scared of the darkness, when the world is scared of what is going to happen next, for you, and the Lord is your light.
The world is scared because they have depended on knowledge.
Yes.
And the Bible says that he has made the wisdom of the wise foolishness. You see? Now, they have depended on the manuals they have read.
Yes.
For survival, what to do in a crisis. When you're attacked by a thug, you know, what to do to defend yourself. But now 5 thugs have come. You're like, but me, the book I read had 1 thug and how to protect myself is 1. Now there are 5. What do I do? You see, and they become threatened because of that.
Their knowledge is limited.
When Daniel, the knowledge is limited. When Daniel was being banished to the den of the lions, his confidence was not because he had read the manual of what to do when you are alone, when you're thrown in a lion's den, a hungry lion. Those from Africa, even African from Savo.
Savo, yes.
The Savo man eating lions. What to do?
What to do?
His confidence is I attended the seminar and all the whatevers, the sessions I was there. I took copious notes. Man, the revelation.
The revelation, yes.
Had exalted him above the threat of death. He told the king, my
God shall deliver.
To the extent that even the king says, man, your God,
Deliver you.
who you have believed, deliver you.
What we're going to talk about here, I believe by the Spirit of God, is to help the church prepare for his second coming. As the church, we're not preparing for the Antichrist.
Hallelujah. That's powerful.
No, we're not
That
preparing
is
for
powerful.
the Antichrist. There are certain things I've heard believers say. I've heard believers say we need to pray and change. There are certain things we cannot change.
They will happen.
They will happen. That is why they are written. They will happen.
Behold, the bridegroom
Comes.
Yeah.
That is our responsibility. That is what we should
Rise
focus
up
on.
to meet him.
Rise up to meet the bridegroom because it's coming.